All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Monday morning, actually. God bless everyone in the name of Yeshua, Jesus the Messiah. I pray you are blessed. I pray you are all on your treadmills with your weighted vests, with your YUBIT hats, and your YUBIT bandanas. I mean, look at this crazy thing. I hope you guys all got your YUBIT merch. All right. What else do you have from YUBIT? I hope you have your YUBIT water bottles, guys. You know, people say, Jason, why do you shill YUBIT so much? It's because they send me this pure gold water bottle. It's pure gold, solid gold, all right, 25 karat plated gold water bottle. And they sent me a hat, all right? Trying to keep up with BLOFIN, who sent me the 24 karat golden chain. Now, big shout out to everybody in the chat as Bitcoin is getting a nice bounce here from our key zone. All right, got to give a major shout to Crypto Crank in the house. What is going on, Crypto Crank? God bless you, bro. God bless everybody in the chat. We are in a $500,000 long trade right now. We're up about 18K. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, man. Oh, my. Wowzers, McBowser. Wow, would you look at the pump? 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 Oh, man. Would you look at the pump? Oh, man, would you look at the pump? I said, oh, baby, would you look at the pump? Oh, man, would you look at the pump? The blue candles turn orange just like Donald Trump. Hey, yo, gotta give a big shout. My beat went away. I guess it's a sign that we're going to dump. Big shout out to Mike. He says, Crank the Scalping King. Shout out to Zach6 Juanita. Shout out to Chosen with Grace, who says, Shalom hodlers, Shalom hodlers. Wearing a jacket in the summer. What brand of weighted vest do I use? This is currently MEXC. Not my favorite, honestly. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Big shout out to Spartan Trading. Shout out to Big Huggies. He says it feels trappy. Not much movement on volume to support the price action. Well, it is a holiday. It's a 3-day holiday here. Shout out to CBK Wahoo. Looking like an ICE agent. Shout out to Crypto Coons in the house, holding it down with the wrench. God bless you, my bro. God bless you. God bless you. Shout out to Peter Handley. Shout out to Ham. He says my limit order at 79.8-ish. We're gonna be breaking down the charts today, guys. All right, we are going to be breaking down the charts today. Shout out to Mar New Deriviz. He says, hey man, right back at you, bro. Shout out to Tone C3X. Shout out to Zach6 Juanita. Yeah, we got a hoodie in the summer, guys. It's not so hot out right now. It's not so hot out right now. All right, it's a little bit cold. You know, this weather is crazy. They're trying to block out the sun, right? They're trying to turn the summer into the winter. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Chris Swimmer. Shout out to DigiGaming Pro. Where am I going to look for shorts? We'll talk about it, all right? We will talk about it. So, just as an update on my own personal trades, I have taken the swing trade that I was in. I was trying to get $100,000. I ended up closing it out for $59,169.20. Other than that, pretty much, you know, these are the other trades I've taken, chopping around, pretty much break even since the beginning of April. And then obviously I have this massive swing trade. I'm hoping that this is another swing trade as well. We will wait and see. And then, let's see here. Also, we have got the short trades still open. Now, keep in mind, guys, these are trades that in the Casper crew, right? I'm letting my community know about the long trade, right? I'm letting my community know I'm going to keep adding as long as we're not losing $74,000. We gave the long setup in advance on May 20th. And the short trades, guys, since the 10th of May, we have been shorting Bitcoin, and I'm currently still in a short here, up 15K. Now, you can see my entry here is around 78-ish, all right? So We've locked in a nice 13K on the trade here. All right. And, you know, these are the trades we've been taking in the Casper crew. In the moment, as I'm walking through the community, the trades I'm currently taking. All right, locked in a nice 13K win, a nice 12K win. We had some big wins. Another 18K win right here. Let's see what else we had. We had some big ones. We had some big ones. A $63,000 win right here. Let's see. This is going all the way back to April 13th. We had some other massive wins here as well. Another $12,000 win, a $7,000 win. Small chop, $20,000 win here. This is going back to March. All right, so basically, the last month and a half here, we've been making the juiciest gains. All right, and now this potentially, this short trade potentially, depending on what happens here, could take us much down lower. Now, here's the thing. As you can see from the chart, I mean, we are at a very key make it or break it level here. We have some good things and some bad things. All right, we're going to talk about it. Now, make sure to take a big sip of your Zevia caffeine-free cola. All right, now I shouldn't be drinking this crap. All right, this crap is bad for you. But look, it's a holiday. It was Pentecost the past few days. Today's also a holiday. And so sometimes I have to crack open a cold one, all right, in celebration, all right? I don't recommend drinking this crap, but it does taste good. It does taste good. Am I still in short position? Hussein Amy is yelling at me. Yes, I am still in short position. I just hold. Okay. Shout out to Dave Digital in the house. All right, so let's pop into let's start in the weekly time frame. All right, now you can see here, this is a very key moment for Bitcoin, because not only are we breaking out and backtesting with, I have to say, a very nice wick, with a nice deep wick below value area high, with a candle close above. I mean, look at the Saturday candle, the deep wick, and the close above value area high. This is nice. If this had not happened on a Saturday, now, I would have been like, I would say, you know, the bottom is for sure in. Hang on, let me make it so you guys can see the dang prices on here, all right? There we go. If this had not happened on a Saturday, I would say this looks beautiful, because we took the liquidity that we had down here, right? We took the liquidity we had here at 74.8, just like we were looking for, right? We were looking to take the liquidity at 74.8, dip below, and get a bounce. It's exactly what we done did. And we closed the Saturday candle above the value area high, showing that the market wants to trade Bitcoin at higher prices. This green zone is a big back test. We had our daily order block from the 2nd of February. We had our resistance on the 17th of March. We had consolidation right here, April 15th, all the way to the beginning of May, right? Now we're getting a back test and a big bounce. Now the weekly, all right? We have just had a money flow cross. Historically speaking, this means that the low is in. Now, I don't like that. You know, when I say the low for Bitcoin is in, I want to slap myself in the face and say, Jason, what an idiot. This doesn't look like a nice low. All right? But here's the thing. If this does confirm a top, a red dot, that always means sideways and down for the next few weeks. And we could see, we maybe we were looking like we wanted to confirm a red dot, but now we're not. Right? We don't know what the weekly is. All right? We don't know what the weekly is. Just like back when I was in college, people didn't know what I was. Was I a man? Was I a woman? They would follow me around in Walmart to see what bathroom I went into. Right? Now, of course, that was back a long time ago when I had just graduated with my degree in trans, non-carbon, binary, emission, gender intersectionality, Pakistani. Communism didn't work right in the 80s, but it will today. Studies. And so, you know, it was a different time, but you can see here, the weekly is kind of in the same boat. We're going to have to follow it around in Walmart to see what bathroom is going to go in. And if we see it going to the men's bathroom, we're going to stand at the urinal next door and kind of peek over to see, like, Do they have biological hardware, or do they have something else? Maybe a funnel? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And so, very strange. But when we go down to the daily, this is where things start to get juicy as all get out. Why? Well, because here's the thing. As the price is making a higher low at key support, mind you, the oscillator is making a lower low. Right? This is known as a hidden bullish divergence, a continuation pattern. Okay? And this daily green dot honestly does have the power to take us all the way back up to here. All the way back up to here. It really does. It really does. Okay? Is that going to happen? I don't know. Let's go to our 4 hour. On the 4 hour time frame. Woof, man, I just burped and that soda burp tickled my nose, guys. Man, I just got a flashback to being a fat, obese little kid playing Super Mario Brothers with my friend Brian Ferkowitz in his grandfather's basement, all right? Brian's grandpa, he had a fridge stocked full of Pepsi. As a fat little pre-diabetic kid, I used to go over to Brian's house just so I could drink his grandfather's Pepsi. I had like 4, 5, 6 of those things. My goodness. Now, you can see here, the 4 hour, sadly, it doesn't have any bullish divergences at this low. In fact, the money flow's getting lower. It really doesn't look the best, guys. The only hope right now for the bullishness of this is the hidden bullish divergence on the daily and the fact that the 4 hour had a nice divergence down here, right? We can't ignore the fact that this over here had a really nice divergence. And so if this is a bottom, right, then technically this could be a continuation trigger wave, all right? But either way, it's looking very ambiguous. So here's what really needs to happen now. If we want to see more upside, then we need the following to happen. The resistance for Bitcoin right now is going to be here, all right? We have a support resistance flip going back to like 78.6. This is going to be a very key zone for multiple reasons, all right? Reason number one, it's just a clear support resistance flip. Reason number two, it's the anchored VWAP. The volume weighted average price of the entire move down is right here, okay? Reason number three, if we reclaim this, we are changing market structure, right? High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. If we start to make higher highs here, that is a change of market structure. In addition to that, we could very well be forming a introverted head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder, right? Maybe this is our shoulder. Maybe we come up a little bit more and we do something like this, right? Maybe then we make our shoulder, right? It's yet to be seen. But we have a very introverted head and shoulder, an introvert. You know, that guy in high school, neck-bearded guy, low self-esteem, couldn't make eye contact with girls. And every day, instead of eating lunch in the cafeteria, you had to go into the bathroom stall and eat lunch in the toilet all by yourself because you had no friends and you were just wallowing in your self-pity. And people didn't know your name. They didn't care to know your name, but they called you Shoes because all they knew about you was the shoes that they saw under the bathroom stall every single day during lunch. And they torture you. Shoes, what are you doing in there? Why don't you come eat in the cafeteria so we can all make fun of you for being such a loser, Shoes? Shoes never got invited to a party. Shoes never had a girlfriend. Here's the thing about Shoes, though. Shoes, during this whole time, is taking all his money from his job at GameStop, all right? And he's putting it into Bitcoin in 2010, 2011, 2012. Now, boom, we get the breakout. Shoes is now in his mid-30s, all right? He doesn't have a neck beard anymore. He learned how to shave, all right? Now those girls that wouldn't talk to him, they're saying, hey, Shoes, baby, you want to hang out? Now, of course, Shoes says, no, you had your chance in high school, baby. But now he's getting all the attention, even though he was an introvert in high school. Now Shoes is chilling at $82,500, maybe even $83,000. So there's also the potential of the Shoes happening here. All right, so we got a lot of people going on. I mean, first of all, we're looking ambiguous. All right, we got the shoes under the stall. There's a potential of a breakout. There's potentially all the hot girls from high school going to be hitting us up now on Facebook, potentially. All right, but there's always a big smelly butt in the room. All right, here's the thing. Remember, we are at resistance. All right, and remember, I mean, most investments don't work out anyway, right? So here's the thing. We are coming up to a resistance, guys, and we do have liquidity here. And if we look at our oscillator, let's zoom into lower time frames. If we start to see, like I said, or like I showed, like I alluded to, bearish divergences here, where market cipher B is making higher highs, but the oscillator itself is making lower highs, like this. Now let's stretch them out here. The gluteus stretchimus on the chart. All right, get that movement to the downside, right? That is not good, all right? If we can't even change local market structure here, that is not good. Now, a few other caveats. Like I said, until we start to lose, I would say, this low, we still have a chance of a bullish bounce. Something else, we have a CME gap to the downside, and it is a holiday. But let's take a look here at the CME. Where's that indicator? Here it is. All right, CME gap on Bitcoin. We do have a CME gap down here at 75.7. All right. So we might chop around here for a while before we get that move to the upside. All right. I don't think today is the day, honestly, where we go for this high or that we try and fill that gap. I think we're just going to chop around until tomorrow or Wednesday, to be honest with you. So these are the things that we need to be aware of. We also have that CME gap from last week up here at around 79K. So we do have a CME gap up here. We have a CME gap down here. We're in Chop City. It's a holiday. So it's kind of one of those wait and see moments for me, at least, where, yes, I'm in the long trade because it's a valid long trade, but I am not really sure which way it's going to go here, guys. If I see bearish signs as we come up to this area, I will look to compound the short trade, all right, which I have been in since the 10th of May. We've been taking shorts in the Casper crew, all right? And so I will see what happens, all right? But I am, let's say, maybe a little naively optimistic here. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm naively optimistic for a move to the upside. Let's go back to our weekly, and let's just objectively look at this. Now, first of all, it is almost June, the time where, you know, around the time where Bitcoin starts to bottom out. We've broken this trend line. All right, this is undeniable. We've had a money flow from the purple into the blue, which undeniably, guys, if we go to the Bitcoin all-time index, look at what happens on the weekly chart when the money flow switches from purple into blue. All right, historically speaking, as soon as we see that, that means the time to buy is over. Now, it doesn't mean the time to buy is over. It means that the bottom of the cycle is coming to an end. And any dip we get is a massive buy the dip opportunity. Right? So we got a double bottom back here in 2020. Beautiful buy the dip opportunity. Over here in 2020, I forget what year it was. But look at this, right? Money flow from the purple into the blue, and bam, we're off to the races. Money flow purple into the blue, bam, off to the races. We had a buy opportunity over here. Money flow purple into the blue, bam, off to the races. So here we are once again, money flow purple into the blue, guys. All right, if we get a drop from here, well, that's a buy the dip opportunity. Now we are also not only seeing this bottom signal, but we are seeing the trend line being broken. And for the first time since October, we are seeing the range being back tested. I mean, this is unprecedented, guys. Look at the previous sideways ranges here, right? As soon as we take the top, I mean, we lose it and we drop, right? We have this range here. As soon as we take the highs that we established, we take the highs and we drop. Look at this. We took the highs once. We took the highs twice. We tried to reject. We took the highs 3 times. And now we're literally back testing with some hidden bullish divergence. All right, one of these things is not like the other. All right? One of these things is not like the other. That's all I got to say. Okay, so there is something different here. And if we can hold above this, and especially if we start to reclaim 78.3, I'd say the highest probability is that we make our way up to 83.3. That's the macro golden pocket. Not macro, but golden pocket from 98K to the low. Not on log scale. All right. But the fact that we front ran this in the first place means we're probably going to come right through it. And I would say the next major target we have here is going to be the macro value area low. That's going to be around 86K, potentially up to the POC at 96K. We could absolutely see that. All right. And then I would expect a pullback for sure. You know, if we're going to make it up to 96K, look at the confluence we have here. Log scale macro fib 618, confluence with the POC, and I would expect something like this, right? Something like this where either we back test around 85K, right? We got this major backtest zone here. This is a very possible thing before boom. Or we get a bit of a deeper retracement there and we come and make a double bottom coming back down to test the 60s. Now, this is my preferred scenario here. Honestly, this would be my preferred scenario. It's a much healthier scenario, much healthier test of this base. This low does not look finished. It does not look good. All right, when you wick down and then you make a higher low and then you make a higher low and then you have this squeezing ascending channel here with tons of liquidity, that is not healthy. All right. What would be healthy is a big old move up to the golden pocket and then a pullback of, you know, maybe 11%, but 30%, 25 to 30% pullback would be very healthy. We would test the base and say, yes, indeed, we do want this to be support for Bitcoin. Indeed, we don't want to come back down to these lows. Right? That would be healthy. Now, what else we would want to see here is the confirmation of the monthly green dot on Market Cipher. All right, which we are not seeing yet, but it's getting close. And we know, historically speaking, the green dots on the Market Cipher B mark the low. Right? They mark the low. They mark that low. So if we're getting the green dot on Market Cipher B, it's telling us that that pullback is the time to buy. We had the green dot on Market Cipher B, and then we made a double bottom. All right, green dot on Market Cipher B, we got the double bottom. Green dot on Market Cipher B, we didn't get a double bottom, but we did come back a little bit to backtest this support resistance flip on the monthly chart, right? Monthly level, come back, dip right into it at 20K, bam, off to the races. All right, so again, if we confirm the monthly green dot here, then my preferred scenario would be, honestly, something like this, where we do come back down and test the high to mid 60s. I would love that. I would honestly love that. Are we going to get that? Who the heck knows, right? Who the heck knows? Now, they always ask me, Jay. They say, Jay, you know what? I don't have a, hang on here. Let's see. You know, it's been a long time since I used this picture. They say, Jay, is the price going to pump or dump? I say it depends. We can't know for certain what the price is going to do. Well, the only thing we can do as traders is be ready. Be ready. We won't be liquidated. We have long-lasting dryness, depends, fit flex underwear, maximum absorbency. And we're confident, just like this man. You don't make that face with your hand on your hip like that unless you are confident that no matter what the price does, you have a plan ready to go, right? You have a plan ready to go so that when it happens, you're ready, no matter what, right? That's what's most important about trading here. We're not predicting, we're planning. And it all has to do with our adult depends diapers. You know what I'm saying? That's what it has to do. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Is there a reason why I don't trade on Hyperliquid? Yes, because I trade on Antarctic. That's why. Antarctic is my DEX. All right. This is my decentralized exchange, and I highly recommend you check it out. If you do use my link, you get very low fees. Very low fees. Can't get that on Hyperliquid. All right. Also, guys, I'm also trading on YUBIT with all these bonuses and KCEX with all these bonuses. Hey guys, I have some exciting news. We are going to this week giving away our $250,000 our $250,000, our 5 $50,000 funded accounts for Klein funding. All right, that is happening this week. So make sure to sign up using my link if you want to be eligible. Also, guys, Bitfunded doesn't want to be left out. So guess what? Bitfunded, crypto Propfirm, giving away $250K, 50 accounts of $5,000. In order to be eligible, you don't have to even buy an account. You just have to sign up using my link, and you're automatically entered into the giveaway. Link in the pinned comment for Bitfunded giveaway. Link in the pinned comment for the Klein funding giveaway. For this one, you do need to have purchased an account in the past. All right? But this is a $50,000 account that you're going to win. This is a $5,000 account. All right? Now, while I'm shilling things, check out jasoncaspertrading.com to join the community where we give the trades in the moment, telling people what I'm doing, all right, as we're doing it, all right? Yeah, blah, 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 all that stuff. But I do trade on a DEX, Gold EXP55. This is a DEX here. So is it going to be a buy in May and walk away? Maybe. This is simply a bear market rally, says CBK Wahoo. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Right. John says 83, LOL, LOL. Well, John, because you said that, we're going straight up to 83, bro. When will you people learn? When will the chat learn? When you scoff at an idea and say the price can never get there, that is exactly why and when the price will go there. I mean, do we have to talk about our friend Felix, who said Bitcoin will never be below 70K again? He scoffed and laughed all day. I said, Felix, because of you, we're definitely going under 70K. And because of Felix, what do you know? Bitcoin went below 70K. All right. So, John Rocks, thank you for pumping our bags, man. Thank you for pumping our bags. And then we'll go to 75. Right? Then we'll go to... If we're going to 75, we're going into the 60s, by the way. What is this? Some kind of religious walking millionaire stream? He just walks and makes millions religiously? Is YouTube just videos these days? Yeah. Yeah, it's true. The real Don D. The real Don D. It is what it is. What volume profile do I use in TradingView? It's just called the fixed range volume profile. It's right over here. The fixed range volume profile. My row size is 200. My value area is 70. All right, so row size 200. Value area 70. Make sure to change the colors to make it look sexier. The pens can't get liquidated. Shout out to Daniel C.A. Prude and Carlos Fortes. Shout out to Jose. I think when the World Cup Roman show arrives, we dump hard. I don't even know what that is. I'll be honest. Can you do oil futures on Antarctic? Not yet, but soon. Not yet, but soon. Actually, let's see what they got now. I know they have gold and silver. They have gold and silver. That's the only traditional market you can trade right now. But yeah, soon we're going to have it all. All right. Look, this is a new exchange here. But soon we're going to have it all, man. All right. Shout out to Big Huggies. I'm long from the bottom. It's never going to new all-time highs. I know, right? I feel that way too. A lot of times. Finally, the sun's coming out a little bit. All right, so CBK Wahoo says, not sure if anyone sees this on the macro chart. Left shoulder, 2018 cycle, Mardi Gras, head, 2021, right shoulder, 2025. The measured move would take us to 15K. Let's discuss that, because you know what? Let's just discuss that. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, let's take a look, and let's put on our bearish hat for a second. Remember, guys. Remember, I just want to make it clear. All right, I am a Bitcoin trader. All right. We make money longing and shorting. Doesn't matter what the price does. All right. Literally, guys, in this range, in the last 2 months, all right, we have made, I've made 6 figures trading Bitcoin in this little chop up and down thing here. Here's the thing. I am a trader. So if you're here, you have to understand what I'm about to say. I'm saying as a trader, not as a Bitcoin hodler. All right. So there's a big difference. There's a big difference. Okay. Between being a trader and a hodler. We need to entertain. Again, as a trader, we can't know what the price is going to do. It depends. It could go up. It could go down. We need to have a plan ready to go for any scenario so that if, for example, this happens, right? Just as let's just say, as example, this happens. All right. If we were not ready, if we are not prepared for this to happen, then how in the heck would we ever be able to make 20 grand when that exact thing happens? You wouldn't be able to. So I want to make this clear because people don't understand. All right. People don't understand. You have to split your mentality between being a guy who thinks Bitcoin's going to $1 million, which it very well may, versus a trader. Okay. Now, as a trader, we have to recognize that this bull market has looked very different from any other bull market in the past. Extremely different. We have never seen a bull market give us an ascending channel like this. The previous bull markets have all looked like this, straight up. This one, slow, steady. Okay? Secondly, this one is very interesting in the sense that the new all-time high, right? Let's go ahead and just pull a line here. We are basically back testing that previous all-time high. Okay, if this level is we're closing below consistently on the monthly, there's no reason why we can't say to ourselves, this is our sideways range. Our support resistance flip at around 15K, and this whole thing was a bearish deviation outside of the range. This whole thing is a bearish deviation. And there's no reason why, if this was on the 5-minute chart, we wouldn't look for this liquidity to be taken. All right. In fact, just to make a little point here, if we flipped this upside down, okay, what would we all say about this? What would we all say about this as the weekly money flow is getting higher like this? What would we say about this? We would say, well, if we break the resistance, the target is the top of the wedge. Okay? Again, I am not saying this is going to happen, guys. I'm analyzing a chart. All right? So right now, everything I've said is 100% factual. We have something different on the chart. We have a potential range. We are forming upside down what looks to be a bullish pattern with lots of liquidity to be taken, with our target being at $15,000. Now, my friend is talking about this head and shoulder pattern with a target of around 15K. And so the question is this even possible? Well, in order for this to happen, we would need to have catastrophic world events happening. We need to have major fear and panic in a market, leading to major capitulations. Michael Saylor would have to be liquidated, and it would be the ultimate bearish thing in the world for Bitcoin. Now, if this does happen, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. We've had many, right? It was an amazing opportunity down here. All right. It was an amazing opportunity down here and down here for the COVID dump. All right. This opportunity for me literally made me millions of dollars. Okay. If I get to do it again, I am taking that opportunity. All right. So is this possible? Like I said, if everything happens perfectly, yeah. If there's some kind of crazy war, some kind of crazy economic thing, and we're seeing bearish fundamentals, MicroStrategy has to sell because they're too in the red. That's going to cause people to FOMO, panic, sell everything. We could see big capitulation. Capitulation. It happens quick, right? I mean, look at this here, right? Look at this capitulation over here. You know, within just a short period of time, we're dropping 63%, right? Let's say we do make another low here. Bitcoin's trading around 50K, and then some crazy things happen, right? 50K down to here is 65%. All right, that's not, we've seen that happen before, right over here. COVID dump, you know, 65%. So it is possible. There, a lot of money would have to leave Bitcoin, like an insane amount of money would have to leave Bitcoin. And the question is, well, it depends on your view, right? You might even say people like BlackRock might actually want something like this to happen, right? Wreck all the retail and then scoop it up cheap, right, for their ETF. And also, there is one last scenario here, is because of the ETFs and because of the institutional investing and all this, are we now going to see Bitcoin range like a more traditional asset now instead of the traditional bull bear cycle, right? We go back in time and we look at these previous bull markets. These are, we did not see this at the time. We did not see this, right? 2020, we saw the same thing, you know, straight up. This time, no, slow and steady, very different, all right? Very, very different. More controlled market cap. Yeah, so it is something that we should be aware of, okay? Again, I'm not here saying that's going to happen. Please don't misunderstand me. But it is a scenario to be prepared for. And if it does happen, we can say there is a valid technical reason as to why it happened. Right? There is a valid technical reason as to why it happened. All right? All right? All right. All right? All right. All right. Chickens drilling for water, yeah. Expect nothing, be ready for everything. That's exactly what we should do, Ways of the Jedi, for sure. Yeah, CBK Wahoo says, never say never. That's how we get rich together. Never say never. We get rich together. With the Clarity Act, how could it go back to 15K? I say quit worrying about Clarity Acts and stuff like that. Don't worry about that stuff. Yeah, the egg code for today is day. All right, day. Egg code is day. You know? Shout out to Bitcoin Harpist. I've really been looking at the TradFi takeover with paper Bitcoin. Yeah. Yep, there you go. Exactly, plain sailor. If the act gets signed, do we trust all the insiders and lobbyists and institutions to not create for themselves a better entry? Yeah. Is it bullish for Bitcoin? Sure. Sure. But guess what else is bullish for Bitcoin? This. The $15,000 Bitcoin is, objectively speaking, super bullish. I mean, honestly. You know, would I like to see my portfolio go down, you know, 7 figures and losing that much of my net worth? No. Would I be scared to buy here? Yes. Will I buy here? Yes. I say that with conviction. Because I'll tell you guys, it was scary as heck to buy here. I'll never forget. I will never forget that night in the kitchen counter with my wife as we're throwing our hard-earned fiat currency into Bitcoin in free fall mode. FTX had gone down. I just got home from my parents' house. That day, I did a live stream from my mom's closet. Some of you guys probably remember that day. I made insane amounts of money, shorted Bitcoin, longed Bitcoin. It was fun. Then we went home. We decided, look, if we go for this and it doesn't work out, we won't be mad. We won't be mad. We'll recover. We'll be all right. But this is an opportunity that does not happen very often. All right. So if we get that again, I mean, that's, in my opinion, it's an easy 400 or 500% on Bitcoin, on spot. 400 or 500% on spot. The Clarity Act will lead to the news huge financial crisis. Yeah, maybe. Splashfire Films, do you remember that stream, man? That was such an epic stream. I'll never forget that day. I felt like such a creme. A creme. That's the word we use in the Casper house. That comes from the movie Borat. Alright? Felt like a creme. Leaving my family out in the living room at my parents' house. I was doing a live stream from the closet, but I said, look, I have to do a live stream now because I cannot pay attention to the family now. I'm so sorry. I know I'm a creme. But I'm either going to sit here on the couch, buried deep in the charts. Might as well just do a live stream. Yeah, maybe it will lead to the next financial crisis. The Clarity Act. Something crazy is going to happen. All right? Something crazy is going to happen here. All right. Hang on, guys. It's time to go pee in the bushes, all right? You guys know what time it is. I've been drinking a lot of water, all right? I've been sweating a lot. Drinking a lot of water. I hope the stream works. Yeah. Whew, man. Shouts to everybody in the chat. It's time that Jay comes out of the closet. You left my community because they started asking you for money? Okay, well, those were scammers, LOL. So, if you didn't know that, you should probably stay out of all Discords. But I appreciate that you still follow me on YouTube. Yeah, maybe the aliens, Bullish on parade, will be the next big thing. There's nothing like getting financial advice from a jack naked dude on the internet streaming out of his mom's closet. Yeah, I guess you're right. The AI bubble. Yeah, the stream inception. We're streaming on stream. Shout out to Crypto Crank. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Crypto Crank, go subscribe, all right? If you like fast action, high leverage, high risk, I mean, look, it's all percentage based, but if you want some good content, some sensational and yet responsible scalping content, check out Crypto Crank, all right? This dude is honestly, he's one of my favorite crypto guys out there because he's putting on the big size and it's just fun to watch. It's just fun to watch this dude trade, all right? So check him out on YouTube, Crypto Crank. All right. Shout out to R Pink. He says 2 streams at once. Am I really peeing? Yeah, I'm really peeing, man. You know, Mike, join my community so you can lead scammers to Jesus. That's cool, man. Scammers need Jesus. We all need him. We all need him. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen here. Is Bitcoin going to dump? You know, are we going to get back all the gains? You know, maybe we come back down to the Fibonacci golden pocket. Right around here. We do have a naked point of control around this zone too. So let's see what happens. This purple box, the purple box of purple. Whoa! I almost entered into a... Did you guys see how... I almost entered a trade there. That would be crazy. Man, this weighted vest though, I'm telling you, this is... It is difficult to have the 45-pound vest on. Doing this stream, you know. Did a heavy workout yesterday, a heavy leg workout the day before. I got to give a big shout. He's not here, but Anthony Lee Crypto. I tried his calf routine, and I have to say, my calves right now, I got some calf DOMs. So maybe my calves will finally start to grow. All right, but will there be any discounts for the premium? I mean, it's discounted right now. It's $2 a day, bro, for the amount of stuff we have in there. I think it's a discount right now. Big shout out to Agent Drink. He says, if Bitcoin goes 15K, alts go to 0. Yeah. I mean, we've kind of already seen alts dip below their bear market lows. So yeah, they very well may. They very well may. That might be part of the big scare. But Bitcoin is not an altcoin. All right. Bitcoin is not an altcoin. There's only one BTC, baby. There's only one BTC, you know? What was his calf routine? Okay, it was, he said do 3 supersets, superset drop sets of calf raises, toes straight, toes out, toes in. All right, I didn't do all that volume, by the way. I did one drop set, superset of each. That's what I think I'm gonna start with there. But yeah, honestly, it did really burn the calves. It was hard. It was hard, and I did it. I was doing supersets, so I was doing Bulgarian split squats, my absolute favorite leg exercise in the world. It's a Smith machine Bulgarian split squat. Superset, Romanian deadlift. Superset with this calf superset. So it was like a giant set. And let me tell you, that workout was intense, man. But I enjoyed it, not quicker. Shout out to Preparing for War. God bless you, bro. I just did only standing calf raises for it, not quicker. But I'm sure the more variety you can get, the better, right? So Holistic Wealth says, it wouldn't surprise me to see OpenAI collapse. If not that one, maybe another AI-related company, massive bubble. Yeah, I wonder how that would affect Bitcoin. I mean, AI and crypto is very much so kind of related. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Anthony Lee Crypto. He says, now double that. Give me some time, Anthony Lee. Good to see you here, man. Give me some time, bro. Look, I got to start with that. Why go all out right now? If I can't, let me provide the new stimulus, and then once I adapt to this, then I'll add a little bit more. Hang on one second. I'm going to take off this weighted vest because it's just getting to be too much. It's getting to be too much. But I will double it, Anthony Lee Crypto. Don't worry, I won't let you down, bro. Anthony Lee Crypto, the most jacked YouTube trader that I know of, actually. Yeah, he's the most jacked YouTube trader that I know of. Am I on a low carb diet? No, I'm on an extremely high carb diet. All right. I'm pushing some days close to 800 carbs. I know that's crazy. All right. I'm on a very high carb diet. I'm on a high calorie diet. That's the thing. So, but I like 50% carbs. 50% carbs, 20% protein and fat, 25% protein and fat. Feels like a pump incoming. Let's see. You didn't receive the 500 from BLOFIN? Let me see actually, like, what the deal is here. I'll reach out to them now. Yeah, open up a ticket. That was so long ago. Yo, Trader Geo in the house. What's going on, bro? Good to see you here, man. Good to see you here. Brandon Garcia says, bro, to switch the financial system is going to have to get really bad. I know. This great reset, things are going to have to get really crazy. So, Steak Sauce says, feels like a pump coming. I hope so. You can smell the sweat all the way over here. Probably. Yeah, I'm sweaty. And what's worse is I haven't washed this BLOFIN hoodie in like 2 weeks. Man. It's disgusting. I'm a disgusting guy. That's the thing. Shout out to Crypto Incognito. If we see a huge crash like that, we definitely see one more huge wick to stop all the shorts. Maybe. Shout out to Boomdock Saint. So let's see what happens here. Maybe we do get a little bit of a pump. You know, if we pump up above 78, maybe we fill that CME gap. Maybe we could get, you know, a short in here, or at least add to a short. You know, I tried to get those off, but I don't have the right tools. I'll try again in a little bit using some unconventional methods. Sorry guys, talk to text. Talk to text. Trader Geo hopes we moon. Well, Trader Geo, I hope that I make money. So I'm very I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a what's the word? A bias? I don't have a bias right now. I could equally see it going either way. Things look very trans non-carbon to me. But if we do pump, I'm hoping to hold this trade to like 83. Daniel, I don't think I would ever go to Argentina for a crypto talk. I'm sorry, man. Shout out to Boomdoc Saint. He says shout out to Jason Casper, the fittest guy in YouTube. Definitely Anthony Lee Crypto is the fittest guy in crypto YouTube trading. In trading crypto YouTube. Alright. Crypto Crank hopes we stay in this range forever. Snackbeer says 91.3, please. That would be epic. That would be epic. You know? Yeah, I'm not much of a traveler, you know? Did I short this local high? No, Trader Geo, I did not. I'm waiting for a little bit higher. I am waiting for us to come and take out, honestly, 78.5 to 78.6 zone. Anything over 78.2, that's where I get interested. I want to take some liquidity and also hit into the VWAP that we have from the high of the range. So for me right now, that VWAP is coming in at 78.7, and we have that liquidity at 78.5, and that support resistance flip around there. Plus, it's also around a golden pocket zone. So yeah, I have not shorted this. We also have a naked daily point of control. Yeah, I guess we hit that naked daily point of control, and that's why we're getting this rejection, huh? I know you guys can't see my chart, but I want a little bit high to short, Trader Geo, because I still am in a short from 78.5-ish. So I'm looking to compound that short if we get a little bit of a push up here. That's what I'm looking for, man. What time does the futures market close today? For Bitcoin or for traditional market? I think it's like 4 or 5, right? I think so. Last 24 hours was so chop shop, says Ayaz Dazani. Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty choppy here. Let's take a look at order flow. And you know what I don't like is how many longs have opened up here. Because when you have a lot of longs opening up like this, let's see, leaving behind these higher lows is just a super easy, once we start losing the trend line, it would be real easy to come all the way down here. We got a lot of longs that opened up here. Yeah, and then I think this would be the place upon New York Open that I would say if we're going to make a higher low, we do it from here. That's going to be around 75.6. You're looking at long, bullish on parade, looking at a long on TON. Let's check out TON. Wow. It is pumping. Are we looking for a support resistance flip of this? Wow, look at that thing. It's pumping. Or maybe a back test of this. Back test of this right now would be nice, huh? Or something like this for a long. Man, this thing is getting a pump right now. Look at that. In just the past 3 hours or so, 15%. How come Bitcoin can't do that, huh? You think the 15K idea is pretty logical, although considering the Clarity Act, etc., I don't see big. I don't think the Clarity Act is going to affect the Bitcoin price as much as people want. Agent Drink. You know, I really don't think the Clarity Act is going to affect the price that much. I don't think there's a lot of people waiting to put money into Bitcoin because of the Clarity Act, you know. But yeah, it like I said, it would have to be something very intense to happen to push Bitcoin down there. So we're talking aliens, insane wars like attacks on U.S. soil. We're talking like, you know, some kind of AI bubble collapse. We're talking MicroStrategy having to sell Bitcoin to keep the lights on, kind of stuff. $77.3 is kind of a support resistance flip though. 77.3. Yeah, kind of. Kind of is. Yeah, it kind of is. %50 carbs do I get next to the 2% milk? Oh, that's a good one, Dave Digital. I was sitting there trying. Yeah, 50% carbs is right next to the 2% milk. Yeah, that's a trick. You know, you can eat a high carb diet as long as you're eating 50% carbs and not 100% carbs. You know, it's basically half the carb. You know? What do I think about the bearish dip forming here on Bitcoin? I think it looks bearish, man. What else can I say? It looks bearish. It looks like we do want to take the liquidity from here, you know? If I wasn't holding this as more of a swing long idea, I would definitely be taking some profits right now. You know? I would definitely be taking some profits right now. Aw. Maybe Trump says something stupid and the markets go crazy. No. The markets are immune to stupid Trump things. I mean, Trump could literally say, I'm going to fucking end Iran civilization tomorrow at 10 a.m. And no one cares, all right? The markets don't care. Trump can say whatever he wants. It's the law of diminishing returns, all right? It's the law of diminishing returns. Maybe at first, but now it's too late. Even all the war stuff, no war rumor right now is going to move the market anymore, right? It's the effect is worn off, all right? The only thing that could move it now is something that actually happens. Sadly, it would have to happen now on like Western soil because, again, the world is immune to anything happening right now in Iran. You know? Tell one says, I felt like I got skinny on a high protein, low carb diet. I mean, honestly, carbs, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Trump made Jason say the F word. No, that's what Trump said. That's what Trump said. That's what Trump said. I mean, literally, the president could get on his truth media and cuss and say, I'm going to end a civilization at Tuesday at 10 a.m. And, like, no one cares. It's a very strange world we live in. You know? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's like being on drugs. You need a stronger high now, like that. You know, if this was back in the day. I mean, can you imagine, like, if a different president who wasn't Trump, you know, back when presidents had to act professional and stuff, at least put on a show. If, like, Bill Clinton said that, or if, like, Bush Jr. said that, it would be like, that would be crazy. But nowadays, you know. Michael Jason says, don't fear the carbohydrate. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about carbohydrates, because here's the thing. You go on the internet, and everyone says carbs are bad. Carbs are bad. Carbs lead to insulin resistance. Carbs are bad. Carbs are bad. You know, low carb is the way to go. And you know what? I think it depends on the person. But for me, I love carbs. I love carbs. I have low fasting insulin, low fasting glucose, low triglycerides, high HDL, an excellent ratio of ADL to HDL. I feel good. I have lots of energy. I'm lean. I feel like carbs are all right for me. If I wake up one day and I'm fat and I can't lose it, and I feel sluggish and tired, and I'm weak and I'm losing muscle, and my A1C is high, my fasting insulin's high, my glucose is high, and my triglycerides are high, then I'd say, you know what, this high carb thing ain't working for me. But until that happens, I just feel like carbs are the elixir of life. I mean, God created man, right? He put him in a garden. He commanded him to eat fruit. He said, from the fruit of all the trees you shall eat. So, you know, I'm gonna go with that, you know. Now, keep in mind, guys, when I eat high carbs, and I eat 600-700 grams of carbs some days, I am not eating processed carbs. I'm not eating refined carbohydrates. I am not eating processed sugar. I am eating potatoes and sweet potatoes and fruits. I'm eating quinoa. I'm eating plain air-popped popcorn with extra virgin olive oil, organic, sprayed on that stuff. You know, I'm eating zucchinis and butternut squashes. That's the high-carb diet I eat, all right? So, maybe some rice. Maybe. Some buckwheat here and there. Maybe some oatmeal here and there. Some sprouted steel-cut oats. That's another thing. If I'm going to eat a grain, I'm going to sprout it first or soak it. So, do I eat fruit, and how do I feel about people who stay away? Yeah, I eat tons of fruit, and honestly, what I say, I mean, God created humans, and he commanded them to eat fruit, so, you know, what can I say about that? I mean, I know some people teach not to eat fruit. I think it depends on a lot of different factors, okay? If you live a sedentary lifestyle, and you don't move your body, and you don't have a lot of muscle mass, then probably eating a diet that's high in fructose is probably not the best thing for you. Now, here's another thing. Your average American is eating a diet that's 60% at least refined processed foods, which include refined carbohydrates, which are lack nutrients and cause inflammation. They have refined seed oils, which cause inflammation and oxidation, and they screw up your body. So if you're eating 60% processed foods, and then maybe you're throwing in bananas and apples and oranges and grapes and all this stuff, maybe then that's just too much for your body to handle. But I feel like 90% of people who have issues with blood sugar and stuff, not all, but most, if they just cut out all the crap. Like if you're reading a package of food and you read an ingredient that you don't know what it is, or you couldn't buy it from the supermarket, like silicon dioxide, or like xanthan gum, or like rapeseed oil, partially hydrogenated soybean oil. If you can't buy that at the store, don't eat that packaged food, right? And people just didn't eat that crap, and instead they switched to all fruits. Imagine if you switched from potato chips to bananas. I'm pretty sure you'd be healthier on the dang bananas. But what do I know? Because I'm not a doctor. Also, I live a very extreme life. Okay? I live an extreme life. All right? We got to give a major shout to our super chat in the house. He says, brother, can you help me become a profitable trader? I've tried for years and I'm struggling. I'm praying to God someday I will be able to quit my 9 to 5. I'm so tired of this life. Yeah, I can help. All right? I can help. Here's what you got to do. Go to youtube.com. All right? I'll post it in the chat here. Go to youtube.com. Go to the Jason Casper YouTube channel. I have a free trading course. All right? I have a free trading course. Want to become a consistent profit? All right, a free trading course. This is what you need, my man. All right, I'm going to post it in the chat for you. All right, now here's something else. I would recommend, in all seriousness, if you want to quit the 9 to 5, that you start some kind of online business along with your trading journey. And here's why. It's very, very difficult to become a profitable trader when you are trying so hard and focusing so much on the money-making aspect of it. It's very difficult. It's so difficult. You need to somehow separate the process of trading from the money making, which is very difficult to do if you're trying to like quit your 9 to 5. So if you can start some kind of a business, have some kind of cash flow, some kind of income source that's separate from your trading, then you can focus more on trading. Because if this trade is now the difference between paying the bills and not, you are not going to make good decisions. But if this trade doesn't matter because you have another source of income, then you can actually focus on the process and not be scared to take a loss and let the plan play out and not take profit too early and not play the stop loss game hoping it eventually comes back and then you blow your account. You know what I'm saying? It should be illegal to rape seeds. I know, right? I know. I know. You got to shop kosher? No, you can't even shop kosher. Honestly. Kosher food is just as disgusting as unkosher food. All right? Yeah, kosher is a joke, honestly. It's a joke, honestly, in my opinion. All right. I mean, it's full of all the same crap, all the same chemicals as normal food. It just, according to rabbinic law, is considered edible. Yeah, you have to separate yourself emotionally from trading. Rapeseed oil is banned in Spain. The egg code is DAY, D-A-Y. D-A-Y. Can I explain the butt cheek theory to new guy who joined the stream? Oh, man. Yeah, so the butt cheek theory is this. All right, when the price is making a lower low, like this, and the momentum is making a higher low like this, all right, way back in the day, we would say it looks like a set of uneven butt cheeks. All right. This isn't the best example here, but that's a bullish divergence, all right? So hang on, let me put on the right screen here. Let's pop onto the right screen. All right, so the price is making a lower low, the oscillator making a higher low. That's the uneven butt cheek pattern. All right, you got your big fat left cheek and your skinny right cheek. All right, the price, you can see here coming down to key support. The waitress at the diner comes out, uneven glutes. Tip money's in that tiny little right cheek. Boom, you can see the price getting a rise up. That's the uneven butt cheek pattern. Then you have your upside down uneven butt cheek pattern, which is basically the bearish divergence. As the price is making higher highs, like this, and the oscillator is making the lower high, that's the upside down uneven butt cheek bearish divergence. All right, it's just divergences, nothing special. Just divergences, nothing special. All right, but it's a good way to remember, you know. It's a good way to remember. Organic foods, good sleep, workouts, yes, absolutely, 100%. 100%. I mean, that's really what it is, honestly. I mean, and I'm not a doctor, and here's the thing: our lives are in God's hands. 100%, our lives are in God's hands. Like, the Lord is sovereign over everything. So when it's your time, it's your time. But assuming that you're not going to die tomorrow, God forbid, and assuming that no freak accidents happen, you know, anything can happen. Like, anyone can get sick, right? There's a lot of reasons for it. But in general, if you want to be healthy, you want to feel good, you want to look good, it's not overcomplicated. Just eat food as God created it, right? Single ingredient, unprocessed, unrefined foods. Exercise your body, which includes, if you have a desk job, if you have a job that's not being a farmer or being a builder or a construction worker where you're moving your muscles and using them regularly, then you have to lift weights, whether you're a male or a female. You have to lift heavy weights. You have to challenge your muscle. It creates new mitochondria in your muscles. Muscle is an organ. It's linked to longevity. It does wonders for your brain, for your body. It prevents many different diseases. It prevents metabolic syndrome. It prevents types of cancers. To have muscle, it puts more mitochondria within your cells to give you energy, right? And then you have to sleep. You have to take care of your body. You can't be up all night on screens. You can't say, well, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Sleep is a drug that heals you. It gives you energy. It makes you more productive. Makes you smarter. It prevents injuries. It prevents illnesses. It boosts your immunity. It's like you just got to take care of your body, right? You got to put the right fuel. You got to take care of it. Don't abuse it. You can't be abusing stimulants like caffeine and all this. And if you do that, you're going to be pretty dang healthy, all right? You're going to feel good. You're going to look good. You're going to have energy. All right? That's how God intended humans to live. You know, we live in a weird modern civilization, and so we have to, like, fake stuff. Like, why do I have to go into a room and lift heavy things for no reason? You know, that's not very natural. You know, it should be, I'm lifting heavy things because I'm working to build my house and take care of all the stuff I got to take care of, and, you know, a physical labor. That's the way historically, like, everything had to be done. There were no cars. Why do I have to walk on a treadmill? It's because if I wasn't, I'd be sitting at a desk. You know, but back in the day, no cars. You got to walk. You got to do this. You got to do that. So you got to live the way God intended. And same with the food. You know, 200 years ago, no processed refined carbohydrates, no high fructose corn syrup, you know, no xanthan gum and no seed oils, and no antibiotics in the meat and in the dairy, and no glyphosate on the vegetables. Like, you know, there was fermented grain. No, there was no yeast, quick yeast that you could make bread with a whole bunch of preservatives in. No, you had to get the starter and let that thing ferment. It was good for your gut. You know, no hybridized wheat. You gotta eat and live like it's 200 years ago. Honestly, But what do I know? You know, I'm just an idiot on the treadmill. Here we go, baby. We're starting to pump. Let's see. Let's see. Can we pump up above 78.2? You want to chase the pump so bad? I hate that feeling. I know how you feel. NAD plus. Yeah, I hear a lot of people taking NAD plus. Crypto Crank just closed the long. All right, well, that's not a good sign for my long. The 30-minute bear divs. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we might dump from here. Let's see what happens. How many hours a day am I lifting weights on average, would I say? Well, right now I'm doing 4 days a week. So probably 4 hours a week. Probably takes me about an hour to get through a workout. You know? But honestly, I'll be honest, I prefer... See, I love lifting weights so much, Trader Geo. I love it so much. I have felt the best, performed the best in my life when I have lifted weights less than that. So 2 days a week. I remember most of the strength and size gains I made in my life were lifting weights 2 days a week, Sunday and Wednesday, and the workouts took about an hour and a half to complete, so it was about 3 hours a week. And then 3-day-a-week workouts, also about 3 hours a week, I feel like is the best. But because I like lifting weights so much for the mental benefits of it, I like to work out more than 3 days, 2-3 days a week. So now I'm doing this 4 days a week. I feel like 4 days a week, if you're not on drugs, is pretty much the most you can do before you start running into under recovery issues. And 4 days a week, it's easy to under recover, for me at least, because if you go too hard one day, you gotta have self-control not to go all out. That's the thing. I like to go out with stuff. It's easy to under recover on a 4 day a week thing. That's just me. Like, you know, I'm a weirdo. Like, everything I do is ultra extreme. So like, it's very difficult for me to like work out and not like beat myself into the ground. It's difficult. Full body deadlifts and squats on the same day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Squat, bench, dead. Yes. Start with squats, move to the bench press, and then to the deadlift. And then do arms and calves after, and maybe a set of abs. But yeah, some kind of push, pull, push. You got to do a push, a pull, a squat, and a hinge. That's how your workout is, basically those 4 exercises. And then you got to add in some kind of arm work, calf work, and ab work. But yeah, the full body workouts, the 4 main exercises, I like to do 2 sets of each. And yeah, that's kind of how I like to do it. Do I have any plans for this summer? My plans for the summer are to spend a lot of time with my family. That's what I'm really hoping to do this summer. We got a baby on the way, so we only have a few months of our current family of 5 before we're a family of 6, unless we're having twins, in which case we'll be a family of 7. A hinge? Yeah, man, a hinge, like a deadlift, a Romanian deadlift, a good morning, or a butt thrust, you know? That I would consider all those a hinge. So like, you know, you would change up the exercise. Like maybe you do a squat as your first exercise, barbell back squat. Maybe you do a front squat. Maybe you do a safety bar squat. Maybe you do a Zercher squat. Maybe you do a Bulgarian split squat. Maybe you do a leg press, right? One of those. Then for the hinge, maybe you do a good morning. Maybe you do a Romanian deadlift, maybe you do a conventional deadlift, maybe you do a trap bar deadlift, maybe you do a hip thrust. That's the second exercise. Then for the push, either do an overhead press, a bench press, an incline double press, maybe a dip. For the pull, you know, either do it depends on what hinge you're doing, right? So if you're doing a deadlift, that's going to work a lot of your upper back and traps as well as your lower back. So then you would do like a pull-up or a chin-up or a pull-down or maybe a horizontal barbell row, T-bar rows, you know. So the hinge, that's going to work your posterior chain, the real Don D. Like a hinge will work your butt, your lower back, your upper back, your traps, your hamstrings, your calves, technically. I mean, probably doesn't work my calves. Nothing works my calves. Sheesh. Hex bar deadlifts and Romanians for the win. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not much of a conventional deadlift guy anymore. I used to really be, you know, because when you know, it is fun to deadlift, like, you know, especially when you do it with your friends. But for me now, at my age, I'm a tall guy, and it's really difficult for me to get into the conventional deadlift stance without putting strain on my lower back unnecessarily. But so, you know, sumo deadlifts more so are better for my body type, or the trap bar deadlift. But I do conventional deadlifts though, but I never go higher than 405 on a conventional deadlift. There was a time I was trying to get a 600-pound conventional deadlift. I got up to 585. This was a few years ago, and I decided, you know what? I am playing with fire right now. Why in the world, as a guy in his mid-30s with a wife and multiple kids and a successful business, what am I trying to prove right now? What to myself? It's not even like I'm competing or any. I'm just trying to do it for my own. Why am I doing this? Why am I risking getting a serious spinal injury trying to push that weight? So at that point, I kind of changed up the way I worked out a little bit to just kind of less focused on the weight, you know? So the real Don D says, you'll notice my picture is Ronnie Coleman, but it's not really me. I was a little confused about that, bro. Honestly, I was a little confused. Kettlebell swings are excellent crypto for Columbus, honestly. They are excellent. Yeah, they are excellent. Oh, shout out to Larry Garcia having a baby in September. That's awesome. I used to do both days, deadlifts and squats. Had to remove one deadlift day. Yeah, it will make you exhausted, Brockto. If you're doing it, so if you're going to do the twice a week workouts, you're really going to have to not go all out. One day is going to have to be high weight, low rep. The next day, high rep, low weight. But you have so many recovery days. But yeah, if you're trying to squat and deadlift regularly, working out more than twice a week, you're going to run into some issues. Like if I tried to squat and deadlift every week, working out 4 times a week, I would quickly burn myself out, right? So I only squat and deadlift maybe once a month right now. The rest is Bulgarian split squats, leg presses, belt squats, Romanian deadlifts, hip thrusts, good mornings, you know, that kind of stuff. Because it doesn't put as much load on the spine. I actually prefer, as much as I love to squat, because I love to squat, there's something about getting under a heavy barbell, the fear, it is a scary thing. Because you know, if it goes wrong, it could hurt a lot. And, you know, it's going to take every ounce of mental and physical focus and energy you have to do this properly. So there is something I like about that. But I really enjoy focusing on the muscle. Like if I'm doing a Smith machine Bulgarian split squat, for example, I do not have to worry as much about bracing my core. I don't have to worry about tipping forward or tipping back. I don't have to worry about, you know, the angle of my torso, because everything's locked into that machine, right? All I have to focus on is using my quads and glutes as hard as I can on one leg to move that weight, right? I can focus on the stretch. I can fail at any time and not get injured. Same with the Romanian deadlift, right? Or hip thrusts. And honestly, I feel like after you build a firm foundation of the squat and the deadlift, you're going to get more benefits from doing more isolation work, because you've already built a base of strength and stability. Now you can focus on actually using that muscle. But again, what the heck do I know? You know, what the heck do I know? No money, no honey. Do I have any other businesses? Not anymore. I don't have any businesses anymore. I used to have an online marketing business, but I had to stop doing that. I was CEO. I'm no longer CEO of that business since 2022. And yeah, no, not anymore. Not anymore. That core brace gets you locked in? Yeah, for sure. Y'all don't know about the squat and RDL superset? 4 sets in those legs and heart will be... Yeah, squat RDL superset is legit. It is legit. What was the setup for the long? Yeah, the setup for the long was this. Right here, actually. This was the setup for the long. This one here. And then just in general, like, you know, I was, since the 18th, I've been longing and adding to longs as long as we don't lose 74K, right? So invalidation for my swing long is losing 74K. So that's the deal with the long that I'm in right now. What do ex-colleagues think about my plunger routine? Well, I don't know. Like, I was the owner of my old business, so everyone kind of knows what the deal is here. You know, the last real job I had was 2013. I worked at Starbucks making lattes. I don't think anyone from there knows what I do. I quit that job to start my marketing business. I quit that job to start my online marketing business. And you know, I hated that job at Starbucks because they corporate sucked all the fun out of it, right? I worked in a mall and the lines would get really long, especially around the holiday season, right? And I would love to go out and talk to people in the lines and just to entertain people, have conversations with them. And not only that, I would sell them on stuff too. I would sell them on, I would sell them French presses and all this. But anyway, the corporate didn't want me doing that anymore. They're like, no, you can't go out and talk to people like that. It's like, all right, well, it's like they take all the dang fun out of the job, right? And then corporate puts a lot of pressure on the manager puts a lot of pressure on the employees. It sucks all the dang fun out of it. So one day, and during this time, I was trying to start my business, trying to start it, right? This is back in 2012, 2013. And one day, I had to open Starbucks at a mall. You got to get there super early. And my alarm went off, and I just told my boss, I'm not coming in. She says, does this mean you quit? I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's not very mature. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know. And then from that point on, I just went full out into the business, Mikey's been on a severe losing streak. Happy Memorial Day. It's good to take some time off, bro. My manager at Starbucks was smoking pot in his car in the parking lot. That's cool, man. I mean, sounds more fun than mine. There was a lot of pressure. I don't know why. It's really strange. I don't know why people take things so seriously in life. That's just my personality. I could never take myself or anything very seriously. I just never could. I remember in high school, all of a sudden, junior year, all of a sudden, everybody got real serious. about like college, and I'm like, guys, we're juniors in high school. Like, as long as we get a D, you know, I mean, you can graduate. I mean, sheesh. And then honestly, even if, unless you really have a goal and you're like, I want to go to this school and get this degree to have this job. But let's be honest, 99% of kids don't have that. They're kind of forced into making some decision. And then they change majors, and then they're in debt and this and that. Like, if you get a D in high school, you just show up, do a little bit of the work, then you graduate. If you graduate, you can go to a community college. It's very easy. And if you try hard in community college, then you can get a dang scholarship and go to a good college. If you know what you want to do. Like, why does everyone take it so seriously? But whatever, you know? Same with like working a dang job. Like, if people are more lighthearted about stuff, there'll be so much less stress. There'd be so much less stress. People stressing out about stupid crap. You know? But whatever, that's just my personality, right? I was always the class clown. I was always the guy trying to make light of whatever situation we were in. So, you know, that's how I handle things. I look for the humor in whatever situation. How is enough capital to start trading? I don't know. You know, it depends on, I always say it depends on what you need. Like, how much money do you need to make in a month, and what's your style of trading? If you're a crypto crank type trader, you know, you could have very little capital. And if you're scalping like that, you're racking up your gains. You know, you're making 20 bucks a trade. You're taking like 10 trades a day. You're making $200 a day. You know, it's a couple $1,000s a month. But, you know, but if you need more money to live, it depends on what your needs are and what kind of trader you are. If you trade like me, I'd say the sweet spot is like 150 to 250,000. You know, you're more selective on your trades. You're kind of letting them run. You're hedging. You know. But here's the thing. Here's another thing too. You have to know yourself as a trader. You might not be crypto crank. I'm not crypto crank. I can't trade like crypto crank. He can inspire me and influence me for sure, but I'm not him. So, you know, you might look at a trader who might be able to do it with X amount, and you might not. And you have to be okay with that too. You just have to know yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, minimum to trade is actually 10 bucks. But if you want to live off trading, I mean, it's a different story. How did I fund the start of my trading journey? Well, I got into crypto in 2016. I got into crypto when it was 600 bucks. I bought Bitcoin. I put my whole dang life savings into Bitcoin in the summer of 2016. All right. So I made a lot of money really quick in Bitcoin. And so I had a lot of money to lose when I started trading, you know. That's how I funded it. The bulls look strong here. Yeah, let's see what happens. Like, if we can start changing market structure here, you know, then we could see this move up. But let's see what happens if we come back down to our purple box of hope and wonder. Our purple box of hope and wonder. Does S&P look like it's topping? Let's check it out. Let's check it out. The S&P. Any idea when we might see Bitcoin under 70? I don't know. It depends. I've never been more uncertain than I am now. Just kidding. I've been this uncertain before, but I'm very uncertain right now with what's going to happen. I could convince myself of a bullish or bearish case seriously. All right. So I'm doing what I do. I've taken the trades as they present themselves. I've locked in a profit. And now it's a wait and see game, right? It's a wait and see game. I mean, we definitely have bear divs on the S&P on the weekly. And the monthly. And the daily. I mean, look at that. I mean, it really does. This really does look like a topping pattern here. The fact that we had this and now we're doing this, it really could be that. All right. Or it could be this, you know, something like this where we see that same kind of pattern. But the money flow is really coming out here. Yeah, it could be. Like, I don't know. I am not trying to predict or short anything about S&P 500. You know, not on the macro, maybe locally for sure, but definitely not macro. That's way above my pay grade. Guys, quick reminder that Bitfunded is giving away $250,000. If you sign up, register using my link, you are automatically entered into the giveaway. All right. So check it out. Link in the pinned comment. Also, Klein Funding is giving away 5 $50,000 accounts. In order to win this, you have to have a previous account using my link. Bitfunded, you just have to sign up. They're giving away $55,000 accounts, like 50 individual accounts funded with $5,000. Klein is giving away 5 $50,000 accounts. So 5 accounts, each funded with $50K. All right. So if you're interested in that, make sure to sign up. Also, ANTARCTIC, super low fees. YUBIT, super low fees, plus welcome bonus. KCEX, extremely low fees, welcome bonus. As well as the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasoncaspertrading.com. Sometimes I open a $1 leverage play on 50x on a random coin. Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah, but eventually something's going to happen. Like eventually the S&P 500 are going to tank. All right. Last time we had a major tank was what, COVID? I mean, I guess April was pretty intense, huh? Yeah, April was pretty intense. Of 2025, I mean. Man, look at this thing, though. What could go wrong? I mean, honestly, what could go wrong? You know, what could go wrong? You know? Up only, baby. Ain't no baloney. Up only. Ain't no baloney. How do you enter the Klein giveaway? You have to use the link in the description, all right? And buy one of these accounts, all right? So you're going to have to spend some money to be entered in, all right? And of course, I have a 15% discount on these. But yeah, so Klein, you're going to have to spend money. Or in the past, if you had an account using my link, you are eligible for the giveaway. Bitfunded, you simply just have to register using the link. You don't have to have purchased an account in the past. That's the big difference. The big difference. The big difference is that. Oui, oui. Monsieur, the big difference. Yes, if you bought one already, then you're into. Yeah, everything is fine. Everything is fine. It's like that meme. Exactly. Do I have any tips? You're 15 and you've been trading for 5 months. Well, first of all, I have to say that you, my friend, are in a better position than 99.9% of humans who have lived or are currently living as far as your ability to be financially free goes. Okay, you're 15 years old. Most people are either your age, they are spending their time on stupid things that are not going to benefit them at all in life. They're putting their energy into video games, sports, or just trying to graduate high school, which is the most worthless thing you could possibly do. All you need to do is show up and get a D to get that stupid diploma, which you don't need for anything in life anyway, because I don't have one and I've never needed one. But what I would do is I would really study and practice and learn. Study, practice, and learn. All right. I've been doing this since 2018. All right. So that is 8 years. And this is the point I am now. I'm 35. Okay. So I've been doing this since I was around 28. You are 15 years old, right? So in 8 years, man, you're going to be 23. You're going to be a young adult in his 20s with 8 years of experience under your belt. When you're 25, you'll have a decade of experience doing this. That is amazing. You will have a skill that is scalable and something that is sustainable. But here's what you really need to do, man. You need to, don't worry right now as a young kid about trying to get rich. Focus on learning how to do this with a small account and scale it up over time. All right. Don't be in any rush. Don't be in any rush. Build the right habits, build the right neural pathways of not gambling, not over trading. Build the right neural pathways, the muscle memory of doing this right. That way, when you are 25, you are going to be like unstoppable, man. Like seriously. So learn as much as you can, trade with small money, trade demo accounts, learn to love the process, get experience in the market. There is something that learning cannot give you, and that's experience. Being here in the market day in and day out, knowing how the price moves, learning what assets you like to trade. Maybe you're not a crypto trader. Maybe you're a futures trader. Maybe you're a stock trader. I like to trade Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin. You know, analysis works for any asset, but me and Bitcoin, I have a thing with Bitcoin. All right. So you're going to figure out your niche. You're going to figure out your trading style. You're going to figure out what assets you like to trade. And then when you're 25 and your friends are just graduating college and they're in debt and they're trying to get a career, you're totally free, man. You have the skills. You know, maybe from now until your 20s, you're working a job or whatever while you're learning how to trade, you're saving up money. All right, then you have like something to work with. Maybe you go the Propfirm route, right? What's most important is that you're building up the skills and the habits to do this, right? And then the thing is, once you have the skills and the habits to do it, there's endless opportunity for you. You know, with something like a Propfirm, where someone's going to give you a $50,000 account, you know, that you could buy for cheaper, and you know how to trade. I mean, you don't even have to have the capital in order to start doing this. You could get the capital with your skills, with like a Propfirm, and then you could start funding yourself. But man, I envy you. I envy you in your position. Like, I always think to myself, if I could go back in time to being a 15-year-old, I would, yeah, man, I would love to be in your position, man. So you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the game right now. You know, if you're totally new, check out the free course that I have here on YouTube. It's totally free. Check it out, right? And yeah, check this thing out here. Watch through these sessions. This will give you like an amazing foundation. And then also I have let's see here. I also have this day trading full guide. I haven't finished it yet, but this has a lot of cool stuff in it too. I've got I think 8 or 9 videos here. Check this stuff out too. It's a great place to get started. You know. Shout out to Alex O. Make sure to go subscribe to Alex O, guys. One of the real ones out there. Yeah, you're taking it slow on Propfirms. That's what's up, man. Here's the thing, too. Like, Isaiah, I like, the internet is full of people flashing the day trader lifestyle, flashing the money, especially like YouTubers out there that are like trying to make it on Propfirms and this and that. Just do your best not to get swept away with desiring certain things, like desiring certain lifestyle or desiring certain amount of money. That is going to derail you from your actual goal. All right. I know it's cool to be young and rich, and the concept is awesome. But number one, a lot of YouTubers out there probably aren't as rich as they say. And number two, easy come, easy go is a real principle when it comes to money. If you are chasing the money, you are going to eventually pay for that, man. If you are chasing the habits and the skills, that is going to pay you, all right? Either you pay or you get paid. Slow and steady wins the race, bro. Like, seriously. So that's, you know, that's all I can say, man. But God bless you. Don't follow the flash. The real wealth is in a life relationship with God and having time with your family. Yes, amen to that, bro. Amen to that. Yeah, the glitz and the glamour, all that stuff. Don't chase that, man. All right? Look at me. I'm here in my mom's garage, all right? It's actually my garage. But the thing is, I'm free. I'm free. I don't need the glitz and the glam. And neither do you. All right? Don't fall into that trap. I'm not saying it's wrong to have glitz and glam. I'm saying don't chase that stuff. Don't chase the money. Don't chase the numbers. Don't chase the lifestyle, because you're in chasing that, you're going to lose everything, all right? Chase the boring, the mundane, the daily grind of coming to the chart, making your plan, using your risk management, boring stuff, all right? And if you do that, then later you'll be in a position where maybe you could get some glitz and glam. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could have a penthouse in Miami and all that. Maybe you could. But don't chase that. Right? Let that be the byproduct of the boring hard work. All right? But greed is one of the most powerful tools to wreck City. Yes, I guess that's a much more eloquent way of saying what I've been trying to say. The original KV Hups. Yes, don't let the greed derail you, because there is that. I mean, especially with trading, there's that temptation, especially if you feel like you know what you're doing, and that'll wreck you. Yeah. The money will always run faster, says Trader Geo. Do I ever do lymphatic massage to my face? I don't. Do you think I need to? I'm a little wrinkly. Look at that. I'm old, man. Getting wrinkles, crow's feet, and all that stuff. All right. Nah, but I'm not against it. Sounds cool. Lymphatic massage, that sounds cool. You want a BLOFIN chain? Yeah, don't. I know. Don't chase Jason Casper with his pure gold BLOFIN chain here. I know it's turning green, but those are actually real emeralds. This pure gold chain's got some real emeralds built right in there. Yeah, psychology is the most important part of the job, and that is really hard to beat. Like, the psychology wrecks us all. Like, honestly, if you've been trading for a long time, your big losses are always down to the psychology. Always. You know? Go play with your friends and teach them how to trade, says Mama Libad. And he says, I will. Yeah, trading's cool. Trading's cool. I'm so happy to be able to teach my kids how to trade. You know, my daughter's 7. She's an entrepreneur. She makes stuff and sells stuff already, right? And I'm teaching her how to trade. So that'll be cool. If trading's still allowed when she's older. It's strange. I always wonder, like, I wonder if she'll even have a driver's license. Like, will self-driving cars, like, be a thing? Like, right now, you buy a new car. We got a new car. Our family's growing, right? And you can't even buy a car without, like, all this crazy stuff. Like a nice family-sized SUV. It's got, like, the stuff. It automatically keeps you in the lane. You don't even have to use the mirrors. It has, like, cameras all over. And it's, like, basically a self-driving car, but you still kind of have to be there. Put that thing on cruise control down the highway. It'll keep you in the lane. It'll beep. It'll stop for you if it thinks you're going to crash. It's like, what the heck? Man, this thing is crazy. The scalp, the short scalp is playing out. Oh, life is but a dream. I like that, Sudeep. That's cool. Oh, your dad trades and he got you into it. That's what's up, man. Yeah, the lane adjusting is super dangerous because here's the thing. Like, what if, like, there's construction on the road? You know what I'm saying? And so, like, the lanes are going this way, right? But you have to go this way in order to get around the traffic work that they have set up. So it's like you're trying to go this way. The car's trying to push you into the dang road workers. You know, that's not cool. Man, it's sunny out. The sun's out. Praise God. Praise God. You know what? The sun's out. I gotta get out. I gotta get out in the sun. Whew. Feels good. Now I gotta take off the shirt. Hang on. Gotta get this sun. All right. Here we go. Got the tank top fully loaded. Got to get my YUBIT hat back on. I don't want people to see my hair. It's so embarrassing. Look at that embarrassing hair. There we go. What do I think about electric cars? I'll be honest with you. I think they're cool. I mean, I don't have anything wrong with an electric car. I know it's like a lot of people are against them because they feel like it's like a new world order agenda to get everybody off the fossil fuel, whatever. I don't care. I mean, look, I'm 100% off grid right now. I'm on my own solar energy here. You know, I'm totally off grid over here. So, you know, I'm down. John Rock says God has zero to do with your trading. That's not true. God is intimately involved in all of our lives, whether we know it or not, my friend. But there's so much that's out of our control, John Rocks. There's so many things that we rely on God for. Don't be conceited. Don't be arrogant. A haughty heart goeth before the fall, my friend. Nice. You grow is off grid, solar, on septic, and use propane. Only water come from the sea. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm on propane. I'm on solar. I'm on a well. And that's how I like to do it, man. You know, that's how I like to do it out here in the beautiful. I mean, it is beautiful out here, guys. It is beautiful out here in my driveway. It's just the beautiful mountains in the back. That's it. It is beautiful out here. We need the address so for when the food runs out. Look, start growing your own potatoes, guys. You know, potatoes. Can't go wrong with potatoes. You cannot go wrong with potato. Oh. Chickens, potatoes, squash. That's all you really need, honestly. How many kids do I have and how many does Big Butts want? How many do we both want? We got 3.5 right now. I don't know. However many God wants to give us is how many we'll have. I did not try to have this baby, to be honest with you. So The Lord must have really wanted it, because I was trying to be careful, you know, but I guess I wasn't careful. Guess I wasn't careful enough there, you know. Gas is free if you have food scraps. Try off grid at 9,000 feet. I should set up a mirror behind me, memory man. That way you guys don't have to look at the garage. This garage is so dirty. Look at that thing. Big shout out to Memory Man. Man, these have been some of the most boring streams though lately, haven't they? The last few weeks. This Bitcoin price action is so dang boring. It is so boring. You know? Shout out to Real to True for the super chat. Can you check BSB? Short time or no? Yeah, let's check it out. BSB. Is it short time? Well, we are back testing this, right? So we had a big money flow. I mean, the money flow is crossing on the 1 hour. Is it time to short? I don't know. It's difficult for me to. It does look very bearish on the daily. The 4 hour definitely has some room to the downside. I would say like the short, if I was going to be taking a short here, it would have to be something like this. Getting in here. And, you know, obviously a safe stop loss is a 56% stop loss. But, you know, the local stop loss here, 11%. And then shooting back down to the lows that we made here. It's not even the best risk to reward. Let's go back to our 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best risk to reward. And then definitely a horrible risk to reward if we put the stop above the high. So, I don't know. It's not a short I would take because the downside is not worth it. You could easily like scalp Bitcoin for this kind of risk to reward. Yeah, and the target here is going to be the support resistance flip at around 48 cents. So yeah, I could definitely see it coming down there. The problem is right now getting a good setup. Right now, locally, it's like I don't like this setup at all because we could easily get a higher back test, fill the single print that we made here. Like, do we have liquidity building above the upside? You know, a short now could easily just do something like this before the drop, stop you out. And then it's like, well, where do you put your stop loss? Like, by the time we're filling the single prints, you're already at a 41% move to the upside. It's really tough. But thank you for the super chats. It's a really hard trade to get into right now, right? If the high is in, then we are looking at a risk to reward of about a 3-to-1. Which again, you're risking $10 to make 30, you're risking $100 to make 300. Is that really worth it? I don't know. It's up to you. You know? Oh crap, you guys didn't see a thing I just showed. You guys didn't see a thing I just showed. Here's what I'm showing. Here's what I'm showing. I'm showing this. All right, this would be my setup here. It's not the best risk reward. We're shooting for the support resistance flip coming back down here from May 2026. I mean, this is, yeah, just from May. So, yeah, it would be something like this. Again, like, if we're going to put the stop above the high, that becomes not worth it at all. If we keep the stop here, it's risky. You know, we could confirm bullish divergences here. So it's a really tough trade to get into. It's a tough trade to get into. Real to true. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Any reason you're shorting now? Because we have 12 minutes. 10 my gar wall, tan my gar wall. Any reason I'm shorting now? I'm not shorting now. I'm still in this short from a long time ago on Bitcoin. There is a valid reason to short right now, though. We do have bearish divs, and we are at a resistance, like in general. We're at the naked daily point of control here, you know. We got some bear divs. So yeah, man, this sun is nice, guys. Whew, man. It's been raining so much. I need that sunshine. Man, that feels good. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. Man, I'm so thankful right now for the sunshine. You guys don't even know. Whew, that feels good. Man, it's been raining nonstop. Man, that feels good. Three Memorial Days ago, we got a rad pump. I remember because my wife and I went hiking and didn't have service, and when we got back to town, all my longs were up like 200%, but I was almost stopped out. That's a cool memory. Yeah, Bitcoin always moves whenever you're on a date with your wife in general. That's just like a rule of thumb, I suppose, because, you know, whenever I have like a date planned with my wife, Bitcoin decides to move. You know, I'll never forget February 6th. Me and my wife had a date. My in-laws were over. We had the whole day to ourselves, but Bitcoin was dumping down below 60K, and I just couldn't get off the dang chart. It was a really tough time, you know. Felix says the heat in the UK is giving you a migraine. Is that true? The heat's giving you a migraine? Heat does not give me a migraine. I need the sunshine. I need the heat. I'm Cuban, all right? I am one Cuban man. What was my reason for longing Bitcoin? Well, I've been planning to long Bitcoin from here for quite some time, my friend. So, you know, I have been planning for this exact scenario to happen. You know? So yeah, you know, I was planning for this since the 18th of May. Well, this is the 20th of May, but since the 18th of May. All right, since the 18th of May, I've been longing and saying I'm going to add to longs as long as we don't lose 64K. So that is why I'm long on Bitcoin right now, okay? Planned for it, a dip below 74,800 and a reclaim. And so that is exactly what I've did. I said as long as we're not losing 74K, my swing long plan is valid. And that's exactly what we did. We dipped below 74.8 and we get the reclaim. And we are off to the races, baby. UK heat is no joke. I've never been to the UK. Crypto Crank wants to know on my stream. Why are you trying to stream, bro? Are you trying to stream? You want me to get off of here? I don't know, Crypto Crank. I'll be honest. I have no plan today as far as streaming goes. I'm just chilling out. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm just chilling out, man. You took profit too early on the long, Felix. No, I don't think you did the wrong thing, to be honest. I mean, here's the thing. Like, the only reason I didn't take profits on this long is because I'm short. So, you know, again, I'm willing to take the risk. I mean, the last trade I had here was a $60,000 win, right? So I hit this $60,000 position. I got stopped out at 74,820, basically. That's crazy. So 74,820 stopped out. That can't be right. Something happens with these trade histories where, because it says I'm still in it. I'm not still in this trade. I don't know. But anyway, it's like I just made almost 60K. If I lose another few Ks, who cares? Plus, I'm short. So that was my whole deal with not taking profit here. Plus, it's a potential swing. You have no AC. You know, AC, having no AC, it definitely builds character for sure. Like, there was a big period of time where me and my wife had no AC. When we lived in the city, we didn't use AC in our apartment. Our landlord thought we were crazy. Man, that sunshine feels so good. Praise God. Whew. But it definitely builds character. If you can get along with your wife and not get divorced with no AC in the summer when it's like 90 degrees, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, you know, you're in a good marriage, let me tell you. Do I do sissy squats? Yeah, I do sissy. I don't really like them that much. They're hard for me to load, and they're good exercises though. They're hard for me to like consistently overload, so I don't do them. But if I'm like ever like on the road and I want to work out my legs with no equipment, I do sissy squats, body weight, and I'll do like body weight lunges and stuff. How the F did I figure out that long? Look, bro, I mean, what do you mean? I just drew a picture of it, you know? That's all you do. Just draw a picture. And then Price will do what you want, right? Or you could just join the Casper Crew VIP Discord. No, here's how I got the long. It was a major zone support. It's a major high time frame, value area high. And we had liquidity right there at 74.8. Like, we had really nice liquidity there. So, you know, it's one of those places where it's a high probability for a bounce, you know? High probability for a bounce. That's how. Your wife just beats the SHID out of you if you speak this much? LOL. What kind of wildlife do we have around the farm? I don't know. I changed to long. Yeah, I was short last week in a $500,000 short. I'm still in the short, but I have taken profits when we came down to that support. So I've locked in 15 grand on the short. My entry is still at 78.4, and I might compound the short because it's at a support resistance flip here. I'll have to wait and see kind of what happens here. But yep, I have entered into the long. Man, this sunshine feels so good, guys. I'm gonna take off the tank top. Hang on. Whew, man, this sun feels good. This is really what I've needed. This is what I've needed this whole time, guys. Praise God. Man, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus, for this sunshine. It's been raining, guys, nonstop, I'm telling you. How much did I invest to make that 60K? Well, apparently millions, man. But here's the thing, like, you have to understand. It looks like it says millions. It says whoa. Looks like I just got logged out of here. Wait, hang on. Log in, log out, expired. That's this one. This one here, this is the long trade. Okay, so it looks like 3 million, okay? But really, I've only had 1.3 million, the most in there at the time. And if you guys were here for this trade, you know I was long from 68K, and I kept adding to it. I kept adding to it and taking profits, adding to it. So total, all in all, I had about 3 million in total in that trade altogether. However, I never had more than 1 million in at a time. And how much did I actually risk on the initial position was very, very little. All right, very, very little. I was risking probably about $5,500, give or take, on the initial trade. So all in all, this is more than a 10-to-1 risk reward ratio said and done with the initial risk of $5,000. You know, yeah, we got a clear sky coming. I mean, you still got some chemtrails out there. They chemtrailed the crap out of this thing. You know, they chemtrailed the crap out of this thing. That's why we've had so much rain. Looks like my computer can't take the sunshine. You know, looks like my computer can't take the sunshine. We might have to end the stream. Yeah, we might have to end it here. Let me see. Let me see if this is even still going. I'll check my phone. Let's see. We got some lag, yeah. All right. All right, we'll have to end it then. All right, God bless you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Peace.